everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to do something brand new that I've been wanting to do for quite some time now, and I haven't put it into practice. And so today we're actually going to dive in and give it a try. What we are going to be focusing this live on today is WIPs. Yes, the thing that we all seem to struggle with most, right? Is finish up some projects that we already have on our crochet hook and just kind of put away somewhere, put down, haven't picked up in a long time. And then we end up just going ahead and starting something new. Now, if you're anything like me, you have an ungodly amount of WIPs that you really need to finish. But again, just prioritizing the time to do so is a struggle. So that is what we're going to be doing today. Today, we are going to be focusing on just working on some WIPs. The idea is I'm going to have a timer, and I have my phone here for timer, and we're gonna mess around with 3 different projects, and I'm gonna give us 20 minutes per project with a transition in between. And while we're working on the one project, we can chat, we can ask questions, we can engage, however, conversationally, talk about crochet, talk about yarn, talk about the things while also knocking something out. So the reason why I picked 3 different WIPs, I asked you to try to find 3 different projects around you, is I heard something a long time ago, and I've been trying to implement it in all aspects of my life, and that is baby steps performed every day end up creating something huge, or end up getting you to a really large end result. And I was like, you know what? That's very true. If I spent just a little bit of time every day, or at least once a week, doing something, then eventually it'll be wrapped up, it'll be finished, and I'll be good to go. I don't have to worry about it anymore. And unfortunately for me, my go-to thing is like all or nothing, where I just want to knock a project out. I want to spend as much time as necessary to just finish something up. And unfortunately, doing it that way means that other things end up getting put on the wayside. And then I'm just playing catch up with everything I keep pushing off, while I'm just focusing all my attention on this one thing. And so it's something I'm trying to put into practice. I'm really trying to do this for myself, and in the same breath, same time talking about trying to do something for myself, I've also heard other people struggle with the exact same things that I struggle with. So I thought, you know what, this could be a great way to hold each other accountable. To hold each other accountable. Yes, Michi, take 2. I tried to do this on Zoom, and I don't know what happened. It was telling me that it was not connecting. And so I was like, it was telling me that it was not working. So when I saw Cruz come on, so Cruz, if you're here, hello, I was like, oh, well, I'm getting a message, someone's messaging, but can they see me? Because right now it's telling me they can't. So I would just shut that down, and I just decided to come over here. So I'm glad that this is actually working. Hello, Cruz. Thank you for making it over here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and grab our first WIP, whatever project you want to work on. And I'm going to set my timer. And then as soon as the timer goes off, we got to stop what we're working on, like wrap up that. There's going to be a 5-minute transition where we can put that away and find a second project to get situated with, and then we will start the timer for the second project. So you guys ready? Okay. And I wish, yeah, Zoom had a clock. This one doesn't have a clock, unfortunately, but all right. Let's go ahead and get started on project number 1. Countdown is active. Great. So the project that I am working on first is actually the folded pot holder. I've had a couple people reach out to me in the comment section of that video. I already have a video on my channel for the folded pot holder, but I got the pattern off of Pinterest. And I think a year after that video was live, for some reason, the pattern got taken down, or something happened where the pattern was no longer available. And I thought that was really sad and really weird, but I put the instructions on the screen. So I was like, oh, people will be able to at least get the instructions on the screen. I still got a lot of people asking if I could do a written pattern so they could print it off and not have to watch the video and for the instructions. So finally I caved, and I am re-recording the folded pot holder video, which honestly needed an update anyway. I was using a lot of, that was one of my first videos. It was definitely within year one of me being on YouTube, and realizing that a lot of my terminology that I was used to was incorrect. I would say space instead of stitch, just kind of, things that I had picked up on when no one taught me how to crochet. I really taught myself. So I had certain things I needed to learn myself. I already knew how to do a bunch. It didn't have the correct terminology down. You know what I mean? So being able to remake some of those older videos, update them, is actually kind of interesting. Plus, after you've been on the platform for a couple of years, you get better. Your gear, your editing, your lighting, everything just improves because you practice. And so that's what I'm going to work on first, is I already recorded the beginning part of this tutorial. I just now need to work it up so I can show people how to fold it and join it and what to look for. So the tutorial isn't complete. It's like it's waiting for me to get to the next step. That is so cool, Michaela, that the folded pot holder was your actual first video of mine that you watched and made. I think that's really special. You know what I meant? Yeah, I figured as much. I was like, I'm just speaking people's language that are learning crochet for the very first time. They don't know that a space is a stitch. They know it as that spot right there, like that hole that is right there. That's what they know it as. They don't know that spot means stitch. So there was part of me that fought it, to be honest, because I was listening to one of those YouTube channels that helps YouTubers have better channels, because I tried to do a lot of learning. And one of them said, speak the language of the people that watch your videos. And I'm like, well, I'm doing things for beginners, and so I'm just kind of speaking their language. But then a lot of people were confused too, that did know the terminology, and they're like, I'm confused. What do you mean? And I'm like, okay. Can you remind me of the editing video one more time? Wonder Share. So Filmora Wonder Share, and I'll type it here in the chat. So if you just Google that, something will come up. Help you out. So welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And if you are watching this after the live, I'm so glad that you are watching, and hopefully this helps you also to just throw on a video, hold you accountable, go with the timer, and maybe even help you get through some WIPs also. And after this 20 minutes, we have about 15 minutes left, a little less than 15 minutes. I'll show you my giant bag I have over here that I usually keep in the living room. It's full of a couple WIPs that I try to do this exact same process with at night. I spend a little more than 20 minutes. I try to do a row. Like this project, I'm going to finish one row and then I'm going to put it down. And then the next project, I'm just going to finish one row and put it down. Again, slow and steady, right? Slow and steady. It'll get done at some point. And then during another one of these, now that I finally kicked it off and started one of these lives doing WIP projects, I'll during one of these other sessions in the future, I'll open up. I'll get very what's the word? Oh, it's right there at the tip of my tongue. But basically, vulnerable. I'll get very vulnerable. I'll share with you the totes I have. I have like 3 totes filled with WIPs that I would love to get done at some point. And so I'm going to try to implement this whole slow and steady thing. I mean, honestly, guys, we could probably, if this is successful, if this does well for people, I mean, I have enough WIPs to last us years. And that's not counting all of the new WIPs that I might start in between. So many things I want to make. There's so much I want to do. So if you are here, tell me what you're working on. What project are you working on? I shared with you that I am working, my first project right now is the folded pot holder. What is your first project? Oh, good point. Good point, Michaela. So sometimes a WIP isn't even worth finishing. It's actually better off if you just frog it. And I know some people have a hard time with that because if they've invested a ton of time in a project, it can be emotional to frog it. But I've also had projects, like there's a project that I found. So sad when you say found. Lost track of it. It is probably like a, shoot, how old are you? Probably like a 6, no, not that old. It's probably about 14 years old that I started a long time ago. And it was back before I focused on multiple stitch count requirement. And so the sides of the project they weren't pretty. There was a design implemented in the project. And because I didn't count or focus on the multiple stitch count requirement, it actually cuts off the design. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep moving forward. And I stopped at a certain point and I just never picked it up. And I was looking at it recently this year, like a couple months ago. And I was like, okay, if I choose, I had a fork in a road, right? I was like at a stalemate. Like I had to choose, make a choice. I was like, I could either continue this blanket project and continue it wrong, but just continue it so that I finish it, or I can just frog it and start over fresh, start over with, knowing better now that I am a stronger, smarter crocheter, and the project will look 1,000 times better, And honestly, I decided to frog it. So this thing was just a a lot. There are certain sections where I was crocheting with 2 different yarns together. And so frogging it means I have to stop periodically to roll and then frog and then roll and frog and roll, because if I frog too much, then it becomes just a tangled mess and it's a nightmare. And so, but this yarn that I was using, I'm like, back then I was using yarn that I think I found this yarn at a garage sale and I was trying to save it. There was a point in time when I would try to go to Goodwill and I would try to go to garage sales and I would try to find yarn because I thought that I was saving it. I was saving the yarn. I was going to use it and it wasn't going to be wasted on the shelf. Oh, hi, Julie. Oh, I'm so glad to see you here. Oh, Cruz, you're working on a granny square blanket. I love it. Oh, FedEx is here. Barky McBuckerson. Don't bark. That's not going to happen. He turns into a rooster. I call him a rooster because he'll crow, bark. We'll see if FedEx is here. Maybe. There. That's it. That's it. Okay. Come here. Ooh. You gotta wait. No. 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 Your dogs do the same thing. Oh, it's Chewy. It's for you. It's even for you. It's Chewy. Shh. He's leaving. We have 8 minutes. No, because you'll bark. I gotta wait. He's bringing more. Oh. Hide. Hide. Shh. Shh. I know. I know. I know. Okay. Hey, look. Look. He's leaving. He's leaving. Yeah. See, there he goes. He's gone. He's gone. But you still think he's here, so you're still gonna bark. Nope. Nope. We're good. Nope. We're good. Yeah. Good boy. Barrett. Barrett, come here. He's gone. Come here. There. Okay. We're good. We're good. You rescue yarn and blankets too, Michaela. I love it. Hey, shush, shush. But yeah, that was my story. And unfortunately, because there was a whole season of my life where I was rescuing yarn, I have some very random yarn. I have some really cool like rug yarn that's like the label's really old. And so I think I ended up donating a lot of it, but there's some pieces that of course I've just kept because I don't want to get rid of it. I think it's cool. It's neat. That's where I'm a hoarder. I'm a hoarder when I find yarn that I can't get rid of it. Like there's some yarn that I'll get and it feels very either generic or it's yarn that I know for a fact that I could always get my hands on at some point in time. And that yarn I don't like to hang on to because then I start to feel like it's a project over my head that I need to finish and it just becomes something on my to-do list that stresses me out. But if it's yarn that is special, like I know that it's discontinued or I know that it's really old and special or it's hand dyed and it has some kind of memory attached to it, that yarn I just cannot get rid of, and I even have a hard time using it. But I need to use it. Oh boy. Okay, so you heard one dog barking And you might, if you listen real close, you might hear the other dog snoring. So we just have we have noisy dogs in this live today. Oh, thank you so much, Michaela. I'll see you tonight. Hi, Gabby. Or Mary. It's on Gab a lot. It's on Gabby. I'm sorry. Mary. Hi, Mary. I'm so glad that you're here. So we're working on WIPs. So find a WIP, any WIP, and we're being timed. We have 4 minutes left on WIP number 1. And then there's going to be a 5-minute transition while we put this WIP down and put it away, and we'll pick up WIP number 2. And our goal is by the end of this live that we will have dedicated 20 minutes on 3 different WIP projects. And if this is successful, if we end up having a really good experience doing this little WIP Wednesday like knockout, then I'd love to do this more often where we can just slowly chisel away at all of those WIPs we have. Yeah, so that's Apollo. However, what? And then Julie, you said your t-shirt project is in time out. I will be frogging it and starting over. Bummer. You're going to have to tell me what happened. Why is it in timeout? Oh, you're working. So you're actually balanced. Oh, so you're actually working right now. That's okay. What I'm hoping for is after this live that I will like edit out like the live parts and like the beginning and the end kind of thing. And then I will re-upload it. So if anyone wants to come back and just use the timer and focus on knocking out 3 WIPs in the timer situation, then they can. Very cool. So excited to have you all here. Thank you so much for being here. All right. 2 minutes. We're down to 2 minutes. I'm like over here frantically crocheting. Oh. So Cruz is working on a granny square blanket. Julie, what are you working on? What are you finishing up this last minute? Wow, Apollo. I know it's hard to have me stop you from what you're doing when we're down to the last 20 seconds. You're like, no, I'll tell you in just a minute. All right. Okay, so 20 minutes is up. Now I turned on the 5-minute transition timer. So let's go ahead and put away our WIP, if you'll stay. So put this one away and grab whatever you want to work on next. So you had to frog the dog bed also. Oh, bummer. Well, maybe round 2 will be even better. So that's what we're gonna tell ourselves. We did it because round 2 is gonna be even better. Okay. So here is my bag of WIPs that I usually keep in my living room. And it doesn't have all of them. It just has the stuff that's kind of what I would, it's just a couple things that I just really want to knock out. And so I'm going to go ahead and just grab this one because it's the one that's on the top. And this one is that blanket, that virus stitch blanket that I did a little tutorial on. I showed how to do the beginning part of it. And then I obviously hadn't finished it, but I was able to show enough of the repeat to demonstrate, okay, now you just take these last like 4 rows and you just repeat them over and over again. And so it became a demonstration video instead of an actual tutorial for the blanket because it wasn't completed, it wasn't finished. However, I still want to finish it because I think this transition of colors is so pretty. So it started off that really light, like lavender pink color, and then it gets into the blues, and it will slowly transition into this really deep, I would probably say, ooh, what kind of blue would you call that? That's pretty true. True too. The darkest part of the blue, maybe a royal blue, or it's not quite a midnight blue. I think a midnight blue might be even darker. But I just want to finish it. I want to wrap it up. And then once I wrap it up, then I'll be able to tell people how many rounds that I got to, and I'll be able to actually like turn that pattern into an actual like project pattern and share with people an actual project. So yeah, I think it's really pretty too. And it's amazing how easy it is. It's just a bunch of fans. It's like a 4-row fan. It's a 4-row fan, basically. That's repeated over and over again. The only bummer, timer, got 2 minutes. The only bummer about this project is that the cake that it was in got kind of demolished. I think a dog got to it. And so it went from being orderly to every now and then I have to stop to unknot something. And it can be a bit of a headache sometimes, but still trying to just wrap it up. I want to wrap it up. Okay, so we are about to start project number 2. Those of you that are still here with us, Cruz, Julie, I know Mary is working. Anybody else who is still here with us, please let me know what you are going to work on for the next round of 20 minutes. What is your project number 2? I shared mine. It's this blanket. What is yours? We have about 50 seconds before we begin. So there's still a little bit of time for you to type something and let me know what your project is. I'm very curious to know what WIPs you have and what is next on your crochet hook. I'm like itching to start, but I want to wait. Also, if you haven't already, grab something to drink so that way you can stay hydrated while we're sitting here. After round 2, after the second round, we're actually going to take a longer transition break and do some stretches because crocheting for a long period of time, we do need to take our breaks. And there we go. Stop. Okay, second round of 20 minutes has begun. So let's get started on our second project, whatever it is. I don't have another project. Would like to start a V-stitch scarf. Ooh, I should write that down. V-stitch scarf sounds really fun. I want to really start focusing on some very beginner friendly, beautiful. Just because it's beginner friendly doesn't mean it has to be too basic, but a V-stitch scarf projects on my channel, and on my main channel, and I also want to beef up, create a lot more scarves and a lot more beanies, a lot more of those really great basics that people love to make. I don't have enough of them on my channel. 3, so I'm on that round. Okay. Have to remember what round I'm on. Does anyone else ever have that problem where it's been a hot second since you touched a project and you have to remember what you were doing? Oh boy. Oof. That is true though, Cruz, when it comes to some people are one project at a time people, and that takes a lot of self-control. That's a huge challenge for me, because I see a lot of pretty yarn and I want to just dig into it and start something new, and just that new project energy and excitement that happens. It's so much fun. And that is probably why I have as many WIPs as I do. It's probably why a lot of people have as many WIPs as they do, is that new project energy is just exciting. It's exciting. But unfortunately, that means that we're spending all that time on the new project that we could have been spending wrapping up the old project, and then things just get left behind. Another reason why I am excited about these WIPs and knocking some stuff out is there is a lot of projects that I started and then I wasn't able to finish them because they were taking too long. And I ended up having to abandon them because I had to get something out on YouTube. I had to get content out. And so I had to abandon a project to do something faster. And this is going to give me some opportunity to go back to those projects that I thought were really cool, had a lot of fun, was excited to get out and finish them up, wrap them up. It's also very interesting going from one project to the next when you're changing yarn size. How you hold your crochet hook, how you hold your yarn. I was working, project number 1 was with a size 4 weight yarn. This project is using a size 2, much, much thinner, much, much more dainty. Has anyone ever noticed that you're crocheting same way you always crochet, but you try a project where you're working with a yarn that's thinner than what you're used to, or you start playing with a project with yarn that is thicker than you're used to, and just how different it feels. Both of them have the potential to be challenging, both extra thin and extra thick. But they also have their pros and cons. It's fun to try out different things. Okay. Oh, wow. We're already at 15 minutes. I have a feeling this is going to really fly. Again, I really want to thank you all for being here. This is going to hold me accountable, and this is really helping me to knock out some of these projects that really need attention. And I'm hoping that it helps you out too, to knock out some things. Now, you don't have to just be crocheting. If you're like Julie and you just need to frog something, then you can spend the whole 20 minutes that we are designating to a project on frogging something and just wrapping up that yarn, getting it put away, kind of thing. Or you can be working on something completely different. If you like dot art, if you like weaving, knitting, painting, anything else, this is just a great way to knock things out. Hi. I'm busy doing some cleaning. One of my daughters is coming to this. Oh, awesome. I have more than one WIP all the time. Yes. Hopefully I can get what I need done, like 20, so I can sit and watch. Perfect. All right. So we are in round 2 of 3. So this is our second round of 20 minutes. And then after this round, we are going to put away our project and we're going to stretch a little bit because it's always wise. I know I honestly don't practice this as much as I should personally. I am just like you. I'm just like you, where I sit to crochet and I don't want to get up. I just kind of like find my zone and go. And honestly, if I were sitting at the couch, I'd probably have my Volare pillow on right now. And the only reason why I'm not working with my Volare pillow right now is because I'm at a table. I'm at a desk. So you don't need a Volare pillow. You really don't. If you are fine crocheting at a table or a desk, or if you have anything else that can help you to straighten your back, just it's all about the posture, So this is just helping me to sit up, and I rest my arms on the desktop, just like I rest them on the Volare pillow. So that's the reason why I'm not working with one. But I would just find my comfort spot, get super comfy cozy, and then I would just keep crocheting for like hours. But when we're doing something like this, I know how important it is to hold us accountable and get our stretches in. So we're going to do that. Down to 11 minutes. Mm-hmm. Going quiet. We have a couple new people that have joined our live. Hello, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Please say hello in the chat so I know who has joined us, who is here. And let us know what you're working on. What is on your crochet hook? I always love to find out what people are working on. Yep. There we go. That was easy. I was worried. I was like, oh no. Found a knot. My daughter the other day, she's so funny. I was working on a section of this yarn, this yarn. I was on a section where found a knot, and I was working on that thing for probably 30 minutes, no joke. And finally my daughter came over and she's like, give me that thing. And she's been messing with yarn and rolling balls for me since she was so little. And she told me once her class was doing something with yarn and they had to roll balls, and she of course had mastered that, and her teacher was asking her to help other people, and she's like, Mom, I have this completely unnecessary skill, thank you very much. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. But I'm working away at this knot that's in the yarn, and my daughter comes over and she's like, Mom, give me that. You've been working on that way too long. And of course, she starts messing with it for what, like 2 minutes, and then she's like, just cut it and move on. I was like, oh my gosh. It's like, no, because it'll mess things up and I don't want to cut it. But I ended up just cutting that one section. I was like, nope, I'm over it. I'm over it. I want to move on. So I just cut that knot out and rejoined the yarn together with that invisible join and moved on. But I just thought that was hilarious. She thought she was so smart. Like, I got this, Mom. Took you 30 minutes and I'm going to get it in 2. God, teenagers. Well, hello. Oh, wait. Oh, I love it. Anxious Pajama Days. Emma. Hi. You're crocheting a granny stitch jumper. Oh, that sounds so fun. Ready for autumn to wear. Oh, I thought about making overalls once. I was like, oh, how fun would it be to make overalls? But a jumper sounds lovely. It's gray and pink. Cute. Love it. I know I want to make some cardies. I do. They're not hard. They just take forever. They take so long. There's some people on YouTube that whip these things out so fast. Like, oh, what's her name? What is her name? Okay, that's embarrassing. There's a channel where she makes a ton of cardigans. And I'm like, how do you do that? And she just does. You're good. You're good. I figured that out while I was saying that. I was like, wait, jumper, I know that means something else. That's why I ended up saying Cardi. That's super funny. Oh my gosh. Not MJ's. The gothic chick. Like, what's her name? It's right there. Right there. Oh, yes. Thank you, Mary. Alt knots. Yes. I swear, every time I watch her channel, she's making another cardigan. It's been a hot second since I watched. I know she's been doing a lot of like Kayla. Thank you. Yes, her. She's been doing a lot of like decor stuff right now. Totally get it. Totally get it. But there was a moment in time where I swear she was just doing cardigan after cardigan. I'm like, how? What? But they're fun. I love cardigans. there's actually a lot of different ways to assemble them. And I would love to get to the point where I can just show people the different ways that you can assemble them. So many different fun ways. I think her vibe is really fun though. Different, super fun though. Then just reading the chat. 4 minutes. Down to 4 minutes. Thank you for joining all the way over from the UK. What time is it over there? What time is it in your time zone? For me, it's 2:44 p.m. Oh, and anxious or Emma, this is that I did a little like demonstration stitch on my channel a little while ago for the virus stitch. And so I wanted to make it a blanket video, but I didn't obviously finish the blanket. So I didn't know how many rounds I was going to make or any more information to give. So I just turned it into a stitch video, and it's just a 4-row repeat. It's just a fan. That's it. So it looks hard. It looks complicated, but it's actually really, really simple. Just 4-row repeat over and over. But I want to keep going. I want to finish it. That's why it's on my WIP schedule. It's going to end up getting to that really beautiful deep blue right there. And as soon as I finish this, then I'll have more information to share with people to then turn this into a blanket tutorial. But I just can't believe all of this yarn came from one cake. Hobie is amazing. Hobie has some of the best ombre color changes. I love ombre color changes. That smooth transition so you don't get those abrupt color changes. They're so pretty. And these cakes are ginormous. Kayla was the reason I started making cardigans, and I have made far too many. Oh my gosh, it's 8:45 p.m. over there. Wow. Thank you so much for joining this evening. Really appreciate it. I always get fascinated by time zones. I love YouTube for how it connects all of us around the world together. We're hanging out. It's one of the most special things I feel so grateful for. You've made 2 shawls with the fire stitch in rainbow. Oh, that sounds really pretty. Yeah, that would be stunning. Yeah, I definitely do not have the problem of having too many cardies. I would love to build up my t-shirt or just my top wardrobe, my crochet wardrobe. Just kind of like, I need new clothes. Just start crocheting a whole new wardrobe. Oh, no. Okay, so that is our second round of 20 minutes. Right. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to give us the 5 minutes to either wrap up that row, because I'm like right there. I'm just going to go ahead and finish like that little mini section, and then I'll pause and I'll put this away. Put away your project, and then we're going to do a couple stretches before we transition to project number 3. And if you're one of those people like Cruz who just has the one project, bravo, good for you. And just go ahead and pick back up that WIP that you're working on. And almost there. Almost there. Okay. Stop right there. That's where I'm going to stop. And I'll fold it up. Put it away. Okay. There we go. And I keep all of my crochet hooks. I don't know how you do it, but with all my WIPs, I try to keep the crochet hook with it so that way I don't forget. Would probably be smart to just like write it down somewhere in a notebook or in one of those really nice crochet notebooks or whatever, and just say the project and all of the materials, have that written down so that way I can keep my crochet hooks handy. But I don't. I have so many WIPs and a lot of them have crochet hooks attached to them. If I finished all my WIPs, I'd probably have a crazy amount of crochet hooks that I'm like, oh, wow, look at all this. I had no idea. But because I am honestly unaware of how bad it is, I don't know. There's probably a couple projects that I don't have the hook with it, and I'm going to have to figure that out. And that's always fun. It's like, dang it. I don't remember. Now we got to play and see. Oh. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this timer. And if you are still wrapping up your project, that's fine. Go ahead and just wrap up your project number 2 so that way you can put it away. And let's go ahead and do a couple stretches really quick. So I'm going to stand, and I recommend, if you can, to stand just so that way we can straighten out our back. Ugh. Right, do the hand. We're going to start with the hand one. So we're going to take our palm, have it face our face, take our hand with our thumb at the wrist, and then our palm, straighten that out. Start with your elbow bent and then straighten it. And what that's going to do is it's going to stretch all this out. We're going to count to 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Same hand, but have it now facing palm away from you. Again, put your thumb at the wrist, your hand to force it down. Start with your elbow bent and straighten it. And that's going to cause stretching in all the tendons and muscles on the top of your forearm. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, now let's go ahead and do the other hand. So palm facing you. Again, we're going to go ahead and flatten that out. Straighten our arm. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Palm away from you. Down. Straighten. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Couple flashes. Let's go ahead and work our fingers. So just kind of bend your finger back, just not like yank it, but just kind of like bend it back a little bit and go through each finger, giving a pause so you really feel the stretch with your thumb. Bring it out and then back. Both sides. Some wrist rolls. Okay, last one, we're going to open up our chest, since a lot of times when we crochet, we're doing the hunch thing. So I'm going to clasp my hands behind my back and just straighten them. If you cannot do this, this is okay. You don't have to do this. If you need to, you can just come up to a wall and you can put your arm against the wall and then turn away, and that will stretch this right here. Okay. Make sure to do that on both sides. Or if you can do this, it's the other way. So 2 alternatives right there. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and just go side to side. Okay. That should be good. That should be good enough. We just want to make sure, I think the big thing when it comes to stretching is we just sit in the same position for so long, not even thinking about it because we love what we're doing, but we sit in the same position for so long that everything just starts to tighten and tense. So just taking a couple minutes to make your body do the reverse motion, the reverse action will help so much that it'll just prevent your body from starting to develop any aches and pains that will occur from staying stationary for so long in that one position. Oh, so I'm reading Emma's comment where she says, I can honestly say the vast majority of my makes never make it to my Instagram or Facebook. That is so sad. You really need to take photos. I mean, I think most of us are hermits. I always say that about myself. I'm like, I'm a hermit. I don't ever need to leave my house. And every now and then I'll find moments where I'm like, I really should go somewhere. Like, I really should get out. I mean, want to hear a real sad story? The other day I went to Buc-ee's, and if you don't know what Buc-ee's is, it's like a really, really big, it's a huge gas station, convenience store. They have a giant storefront where half of it's like food, whether they're making it fresh or they just have a lot of like that convenience fast food type of deal. And the other half of the store is souvenirs and trinkets. And they even have consignments. So there's like booth sections for people to put their own handmade stuff in there or stuff they're trying to sell. So it's huge. But ultimately, it's like a giant gas station. And my husband and I were just like, let's go to Buc-ee's and grab some lunch kind of thing. We go in there and I'm looking around. I'm like, it's really sad when this is so enjoyable for me. Like, where I'm just like, I need to do this more often. Like, I got excited to go to Buc-ee's. I mean, I don't know if you can relate, but basically when the most mundane place brings you so much joy because you got out, it's just like, oh boy, that says a lot. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just say we finished that transition. Go ahead and grab project number 3. Before I push begin, my project number 3 is a personal project. I in our crochet club, I do stitch tutorials, and most of the stitch tutorials are on the intermediate, and some are borderline advanced, but intermediate level. People wanting to be challenged a little bit more. And we did the jasmine stitch. And the jasmine stitch is that puff flower. And I loved it. I thought it was so beautiful that I have some yarn, like I said, I only hoard yarn that I either is discontinued or I really have a hard time letting go of it. I have some of that on this wall over here. It's Hobby Lobby yarn from one of their mega blowout clearance sales like 2 years ago that I still haven't touched it. And that's why I didn't go to the Hobby Lobby clearance sale this year, because I'm like, I still have stuff from 2 years ago that I need to work on, so I was like, nope, I gotta just work with what I got right now. And this yarn I was like, this is going to be perfect. Have a brand new baby niece. So I'm going to use the jasmine stitch. And this is where I'm at so far in it. I have only one more skein of this color, and they're about this big. So they're not even like large skeins. It's about this big. But once I'm done with this color, I'm just done. I'm not going to go to any specific dimension. I think I started the width-wise of a crib-size blanket, but I'm not going to worry about how many rows I make. I'm not going to worry about dimension. I'm just going to finish up the yarn and then give it to my little niece. They're not going to care. Barrett. You went out there? Yeah. I hear Davin. Here, you go out with Davin. There. Enjoy. So that's what I'm working on. One of those projects, again, because it's personal too. Any personal projects of mine, they are put into this category of, all right, you got to give it just a little bit of time every day to try to chisel away at it. And so I'm close, eager to finish it. Okay, you guys ready? Last 20 minutes. Here we go. Project number 3, please, if you are transitioning your projects and now working on something new, something different, let me know what you are now working on. Again, if you are not crocheting something, you're frogging something, or working on a different craft, different project type, but are still implementing this exact same 20 minutes transition thing, let me know what you are working on now. I think that would be a lot of fun. Oh, yeah, the grocery store is is now thrilling for you. I mean, I get it. The grocery store, I just want to go down every aisle and I want to look at everything. I end up spending like 2 hours at the grocery store for every visit because I just need to go down every aisle. Like it's like therapy, shop therapy. And then Emma said you went to get donuts with your daughter today. Oh, that sounds awesome. Just to get out of the house. You have to force yourself to get out of the house with rewards. I like that. That's great. Oh, nice. See, Gabby. I keep calling Gabby, Mary. Gab-a-lot, you're doing the transition too in a different way. I think that's awesome. All right. Here we go. Wow, we have more people in here. Welcome, everybody. I can see the number of people that show up in the live. So hi, so glad that you're here. Please say hello. I would love to say hello back and get you a part of the conversation. That'd be great. Let us know, what crochet project do you have on your hook right now? Whether you're just hanging out with us and working on it or not. I'm just so curious about all the different projects that people are working on. And I'm also super grateful for who was it up here? There we go. My mouse is temperamental. Every now and then I have to like tap it on my wrist to get it to work. Who said, I loved that Cruz mentioned that Cruz wants to or would like to start a V-stitch scarf. I love that you mentioned that, Cruz. Thank you so much. If anybody else has any projects that you would like to make, you're curious to make, I'd love to hear that too. Because right now I'm feeling in the mood for I need to fill content project. I need to make projects that kind of grow certain categories. I was looking through my main channel, my YouTube channel, and I was looking through all of the different categories of projects that I have. And I was really surprised and a little disappointed that I have so few like scarf tutorials and I have so few beanie tutorials. Like it's like, wait, what? We got to rectify that right away. Do you want him or do you want me to have him?
You can have him.
You don't want him? He wanted you. He takes him. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, wait, what? What? Oh no, that's not okay. But of course, for me, I don't want it to just be, I don't want to just whip up something. I want it to be, I want it to be of a certain quality. I want it to look a certain way. I don't want to just kind of take a stitch, take like a swatch and elongate it to make a scarf. I want to make something like extra special. So if I were to do a V-stitch, I would probably do like something different, something really cute on each end of the scarf. Play with different types of fringe or pom-poms or tassels. Something, maybe. Oh, welcome, Darlene. Hi. Oh, underwater tails. I don't know what that is. Hippy dippy tote. That's fun. Allie cool tote bag. A fanny pack for my son and a blanket. Nice. Those all sound awesome. I love it. Fanny packs are in, man. Who knew that would come back in style? Darlene just finished your blanket for your Knots of Love donation. Oh, awesome. Started on a tank top. Jealous. And I've been looking for a pattern and found one this week. Oh, yay. Oh, that's the hardest part right there. I have thousands and thousands of pinned projects on Pinterest. And I have tons of just patterns saved all over the place. And it's amazing how you can have all these patterns and you can have all this yarn and still not know what to do. Oh, Hobie's doing a crochet along. Gotcha. Emma, you have a long list, huh, of things you want to make? Oh, boy. Honestly, I have loads of cardigans, sweaters, tops, dresses, skirts, hats, toys that you want to get to. I get it. Oh, I totally get it, man. Sometimes it feels like there is not enough time in the day. I mean, I finish a month, 1 month, and I have 4 projects out, and I feel like, what? What? That's it? What? Yes, there's a lot that goes into each, 100%. And yes, it makes sense why I was only able to create 1 tutorial a week. Totally get it. But still, sometimes it just feels like, what? 12 minutes. 12 minutes left. I super close to finishing this. I bet I finished this skein of yarn in this last 12 minutes. That would be swell. Only have like that much left. I think I will. I think I'll do it. I don't think it'll finish the row, but that'll be great because then I just have 1 skein left for this project. Yay. And then after that 1 skein, I'll probably talk to you guys. I'll probably keep it in my WIPs section and want to do something to, finishing touches, some kind of finishing touch to it to wrap it up. And I'll probably bring you guys in on that conversation on how I want to do that, how I should do that. Like, what do you guys think? Get your thoughts. Because I don't want to just like finish and weave in my ends and then be like, all right, you're done, because it doesn't look done. It just doesn't look done. There's some blankets 100% hands down do not need a border. Totally get it. But this one needs a finishing touch. Emma, you only do a bit of crochet at a time now? Makes sense. Oh no. I am so worried about permanent damage. That's one of the other reasons why I am so passionate about the Volare pillow. I know that I just never ever want people to think I'm just selling a product. I'm not. With the Volare pillow, I found a product after hearing tons of stories from people that they couldn't crochet anymore. And it was really hard to read. It was really hard to hear their stories. These people that had been crocheting for, decades. It was their passion. They loved it so much. And then they had something happen, one of those aches and pains that ended up causing permanent damage, and they couldn't crochet anymore, and they had to get rid of all their yarn, and they had to get rid of all their stuff. And my heart broke every time I read one of these stories. And there was not just like 5 stories. There was like 10, 15 stories that I read of people that did this. And so when we had the discussion in the crafters gathering in my crochet club, and the idea, the name of the Volare pillow came up, and I researched it and I looked into it. I was like, what is the Volare pillow? And when I saw what it could do and how it could help people in our niche, I instantly reached out to them and I was like, we need to get this in the crochet community, like as soon as possible. And that's why I talk about it so much. I mean, if you don't need a Volare pillow, if you want to crochet at a desk, like I mentioned, you can crochet at a desk. And if you can find a way to correct your posture and find something to put your arms on, so that you don't have that tension in your shoulders and stuff. If you can do all those things to prevent some of those aches and pains that could cause permanent damage, like you were talking about, Emma, that's what I am trying to do for people. How do you think you hurt yourself? How do you think you created permanent damage, Emma? I'm curious. Sharonya, hi. I miss you. I miss seeing your face. I miss you so much. I hope you're doing well. I really do. And oh, that's fun. Arrow Lover is talking to Emma about the crochet along. Ah, bummer. That's going to back up. An underwater crochet along. That sounds so fun. All the little characters and all the little things. It's got to be cool. You have carpal tunnel. I don't think I know what a mallet finger. Never heard of it. Yeah, I haven't heard of mallet finger either. You said you never heard of it either until your doctor said you had it. Or pray it never happens to you. Yeah, definitely. Do you still have a discount for the vlog? I sure do. Yes. Here, I'll get you. No, it's just, I made it as easy as possible. So it's just CWT, crochet with Tiffany, 15. So funny. It's like symbols. You are very welcome. Yeah, just check them out. See what you think. I just got my mom one. So funny. My mom is so funny. She's like, Tiffany, what's your link or what's your discount code? And I'm like, why? like that was my response to my mom. Like, why? Because she doesn't knit or crochet. I mean, she hasn't quilted in a long time, but she loves to quilt. So she's the sewer and I'm the crocheter, and I'm awful at sewing. It's not my thing. But she mentioned how she's had a lot of surgeries recently, just her body just working as hard as she has her whole life. It's just all starting to break down. And so she's having a ton of surgeries now. And she's like, I just cannot get comfortable. And I'm hoping this pillow will be something I can like rest my arms on so I can like get comfortable. And I'm like, okay. So I got her one. And I need to reach out to her and ask her like, so what do you think? You know, I've not done that yet. Like, shame on me, not done that yet. But I just love all the different ways that it can help people. My son sleeps on his. I'm like, dude, that's not necessarily what it's for, but okay. He also plays video games, so. Oh, okay, that's what you're saying, Arrow. I was saying that I meant was you were hoping you never got it. Yeah. Sorry for that. Thank you for the clarification. Yeah, I hope that too. The only difference between the rare and the legendary is the cover. It's just the cover. So that's it. I think the legendary covers, like mine is legendary and I have the velvet. I really like it. There's also the suede, which is kind of like a more leathery feel. And then I think the rare like it's a regular material. So it's not bad. You're not going to hate it. It's just like a regular material. So and you can always get new covers, which is nice. So if you ever want to just get the pillow insert, you can get whatever covers that you want. So that's convenient. So if you want to go rare and then eventually just get the legendary cover, you can. So yeah, knitter's elbow. I have crocheter's elbow. I have crochet. I did not know I had crocheter's elbow until I got the Volare pillow. Talk about a rude awakening. 2.5 minutes. All of a sudden, like feeling all that pain in my elbow. I'm like, what the heck, man? Like, what? Why? Yep. Oh, that's so funny. I had never heard it called knitter's elbow, but I was like, oh, that makes sense. I mean, knitters probably call it knitter's elbow, and crocheters probably call it crocheter's elbow. Like, I don't know. Mm. Down to our last minute and 20 seconds. So now I'm like, come on, try to finish this. Do, do. Oh, Sharanya, I was going to ask you. There were some people in the crochet club that were curious about color changes with that straight color change. And I remember you shared a video with me a while ago about or from that chick that showed really straight color changes. Do you still remember what where that video is? And if you do, could you email it to me? I want to do a video, or I want to do a topic on that concept in the crochet club. There's a couple people doing some projects with color changes, and I wanted to show them her way. I thought it was really different. All right, that's it. Okay, I'm gonna just finish the stitch. Boom, right there. Oh, I didn't finish, and I have like that much left. That's all I got left. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put it down. I'll finish. I'll just grab the next skein and have that ready to go the next time I pick this up. But that's it, guys. That is the round 3. That is the last round of our crochet WIP. Oh, what did I call it? WIP Wednesday. I'm just forgetting everything right now. But anyways, just being able to WIP Wednesday knockout. That was right there. That's the last project for our WIP Wednesday knockout. And I'm hoping to have this more regular next Wednesday. See you again here in the behind the scenes with Tiffany. Do a live where we can do another hour and a half working together on our WIPs and just trying to continue to knock out these WIPs little by little. And by giving them just a little bit of time, slowly they will work their way to being finished, and we don't have to think about it and worry about it and feel bad about it anymore. We know that we are slowly giving them a little bit of attention, and they are getting closer and closer to being done and out of our hair. So I hope you had a lot of fun with that. I hope it was encouraging. I will go ahead and take this video and I'll edit it down a little bit, and I will upload a replay here in the behind the scenes. So that way, if anyone wants to watch the replay, or if anyone that wasn't able to participate today right now wants to catch it later, they still can have the timers and they can still work on their WIPs anytime throughout the week. Just kind of keep it going and continue to try to knock out these WIP projects that seem to overwhelm us all. So thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for participating in the chat. I thought that was awesome. So Wanted to real quick read what was in here. Oh, I'm so glad that the timer thing was what worked for you, Arrow. That's awesome. And getting up and stretch. That, yeah, it's something that we all should do. Do we do it? Not always. But we should, because we should take care of our bodies. But I'm glad that helped. And I hope that you guys can make it to next week's 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Texas time seems to work the best for me. So I'll try to put a video live preview on the screen, so that way it like is a reminder for everybody that it's going to be happening. And I'll try to get that up at least a day before, so that way you guys know that it's coming. Oh, thank you so much, Sharanya. I'm glad that you still have that on your radar. And I still want to do the Irish crochet stitch. Yes, I do. I still have the project on my table. I just haven't gotten a chance to get to it, but I want to. What I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to work on it. I'm going to make little videos behind the scene, and then I'm going to put together a challenge where they're smaller videos, individual videos, but they're grouped together. So that way we can take the Irish crochet in parts and bits and pieces, and then join them all together at the end to finish that doily, because there's just it's so dainty and it takes so much time, and it's just a very large project that is very small. It's a big, there's a lot to do, but you create something very small. So I still want to do it. It's still out. It's still on my radar. It's just not quite there yet. Bye, Mary. Thank you so much for being here. And everyone that's part of the Crochet Club, we will be going live tonight. I hope I can see you all this evening. Have a wonderful week, guys. And I hope to see you next Wednesday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, for another WIP Wednesday knockout. You did great. Congratulations. I'll see you next week. Bye, guys. And peace.